As you can see, there's marker bands on their legs. Those bands are an identification number, sort of like a license plate on a car. Every bird has one of them. You can't race them without an ID number. On one leg you'll see a colored band, on the other leg will be a plastic band. The colored band is registered with the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union, and if a bird happens to be lost, he can be traced back to me with that number, and I retrieve him. The other band is a race band, and it is there to identify the bird when it comes home. There is a scanner on my loft entrance, and when that bird lands, when he comes home from a race, that electronic band registers his band number in a clock. It's sort of like scanning your groceries in a grocery store. The time is put into that clock through that band, and we go to a clubhouse and we know what time the bird's released, what time the bird came home. We figure out the velocities, and that'll give you your winner. You'll see that I have separate nest boxes for each bird. They're not locked in there by any means. That's their home. They protect their home. They'll fight with other pigeons that try and enter it. They're looking after their territory. On the nest boxes on the front, you'll see some specific numbers. Some of those numbers are the date the bird laid the egg, so I'll know in 18 days from that date it will hatch. Others are band numbers, so I can identify the bird that actually took possession of that nest box. They will raise approximately 4 to 6 youngsters for me a year each pair. Then I separate them. I don't like to have more pigeons than I have a use for. They are right now basically getting ready to go to their first race. Their first race will be the first week in May. They should be out exercising right now, but because there's a hawk problem around here, we have migrating hawks. I've already had 2 attacks, so I'm reluctant to let them out yet. Also, the weather isn't terrific. It's windy and cool. You try and build up some muscle on them by offlining them for a while before the races start. You also take them up the road 50, 60 miles and let them go to come home. They're out on a regimented basis. I let them out twice a day when I can, for an hour in the morning and an hour at night. The rest of the time they're in a flight cage in the pigeon loft, and in the fresh air and sun, which is good for them. The idea with these birds, we treat them like they're athletes. We feed them the best feed we can get for them. We put additives in their water, vitamins and minerals, and we load them with carbohydrates for the races so that they have plenty of energy and fuel to make the flight home. We take care of them. They're, to us, they're just, like I said, they're athletes. It's fascinating to watch them come home on race day. You sit in your backyard with a drink of some sort. My drink of preference is Molson Export Ale, and you wait for your birds. And it's a great family sport. We have, within the organization I belong to, we have about 125 members. Some are youngsters from the age of 10, 11 to teenagers. We have several women who have racing pigeon lofts, and it's fascinating to realize that some very big names in the world have had racing pigeon lofts. Queen Elizabeth has her royal lofts in England, and she races on a regular basis. She has a loft manager and visits a loft sometimes. Walt Disney had racing pigeons. Mike Tyson has racing pigeons. A lot of famous people have kept them throughout the years.